Hey, what's up YouTube? God Mode Duelist here, and welcome to another segment of Perfecting the X-Sabers. As you all know, YCS has come and gone. It was over in Charlotte. I ran X-Sabers, of course. I did okay, I guess. I definitely learned a lot of stuff. Definitely met a lot of famous people over there. Samurais ended up winning, so, you know, that's just that. And since there's a new format, there's a couple of cards I want to talk to you guys about, because since the ban list pretty much cut off a lot of good cards for most decks, the cookie cutter for a lot of decks are going to change. That's one thing I want to talk to you guys about. So here I have 5 cards that I personally think you'll see a lot more of, more so or less than your traditional meta deck. This is particularly just for X-Sabers. So first 2 cards are definitely Guard Strike and Regiera. I know I've had my opinions on Guard Strike, but with the new format changing, they need as many openings to explode as possible. Like, Guard Strike, he's the tribal Saber Dragon. He sets up plays for E-Call, and since he's a special summon, you can special him, normal another X-Saber, and then get a fault roll. So he sets up a lot of good plays. I didn't like him before just because he needs 2 X-Sabers to be in the grave. So he's not really good first turn, as most people would think he would be, but that's just me. The second is Regiera. Definitely with this new format and a lot of new decks coming out, Regiera and the Gotham's Loop will probably be another win condition for this deck. It didn't really, most people decide to skip that when they could just synchro up and kill you. Like that was just always the straightforward thing. But the Gotham's Loop has done me good in the past, and I personally think that with this new format it may come back. Just may. I'm not too sure on it. It's still really good. It doesn't really take a lot of cards, and since people are maining trap stuns now, all you have to do is flip up a trap stun and just not care anymore. So yeah. Next card is Xing Zhen Hu. If you guys don't know what this card is when you activate it, you pick 2 set spell or trap cards on the field, and on your opponent's side of the field, and he can't activate them as long as this card's face up on the field. It's a really big tech choice. You know, you can lock down a Solemn Judgment and a Solemn Warning, or a Mirror Force, Torrential, stuff like that. Pretty much it gives your opponent another target to focus on while you set up your bigger plays. Like, I played this once. I only really saw it once the whole day. I ended up playing against a Glad Beast player, and I held down 2 chariots. And he never drew into another chariot, and I kept blowing up all his, every Glad Beast he put on the field. So the card did a lot of good then. It probably would have done better if I had drawn into it again in my other matches, but the time of play that it saw, it was really useful. So that's definitely one card you would consider running. A few people I saw main deck 1. I side decked mine because I don't have the room for it currently. You'll see my build, Team Minority SPG. They did a deck profile for me, so once they get that uploaded, just go check it out, and check them out anyway. So next card I want to talk about is Saberhole. This card was just all day amazing. Just every time my opponent summoned a monster, I always had a Saberhole just live and ready to go. So for you X-Saber players who can't get Solemn Warnings, because they are going up in price, so hurry up and get them. But if not, run Saberholes, because Saberholes are just way too good not to run. They do almost the same thing. They can't stop like damage step monsters, but they can definitely stop a very important normal summon. Like, they can stop that gadget player from thinning out his deck. They can stop the samurai guy from happening. Other X-Sabers. This card's just really good, and it'll definitely see play again, especially since the priority rule is going to get taken out soon. So yeah, scramble for all these guys if you can. My last and final card. This was my secret tech of the day. Found out I wasn't the only one running this card, so it's definitely one thing you guys want to try out. Is 1 Debris Dragon. Yeah. Yeah, you guys run one Debris Dragon because it is a really good way to get out of a bad situation. Like, if you're down and out, just summon it, get back a Dark Soul, make a Black Rose, and just blow up the field. It happened to me in one game where a guy was pretty much locking me down. I activated a Trap Stun, made a Debris Dragon, made a Black Rose, blew up the field, and searched out, I think it was a Boggart Knight. And then we waited out 2 turns, and then I exploded on his face. So, it's a really good escape tactic. And it's also really good if, like, you know, even if you don't have to make a Black Rose. Like, if they have an oppression on the field, you can just set it, because it has a beastly 2000 defense, so definitely gonna have to waste resources to get rid of it. These are 5 cards that I personally think will change up the metagame for Sabers. The Cookie Cutter is definitely going to change, especially to pretty much fit around these new decks that are coming out. Like, we have Dragoonides. That deck's actually a lot harder to stop than you think. It's like, oh, I just blow up the field spell. I'm like, well, they don't usually need the field spell. So even if they neg themselves by ditching a Phalanx, they could already have a Dux in hand. So pretty much you gotta fix your deck up to work with this new meta, like every 6 months. So that's part 1. Part 2 of this segment, I want to talk about a particular style of side decking. I decided to side deck into Stun at the YCS, and it did me so much good. Like, I won a lot of my matches just siding into Stun, just because it threw my opponent off. A lot of people actually, like a lot of meta decks nowadays are starting to do that because, like I said, guys, Stun is good. It's really good. It throws people off, and if you can play around it well enough to where you completely control the field and explode, then, you know, be pro. Continue being pro. So these are 4 cards I sided in every game, and each one at least got me a win. So first one, Cyber Dragon, staple. Like, just every side deck should have at least one Cyber Dragon. Just because gadgets, you can easily just Chimera attack them. It's a free 2100 beater if your opponent controls a monster, so it's automatically bigger than most of the stuff your opponent will have, depending on like how late the game is. He's just really good, and he's level 5, so he can set up for making level 8s, 9s, and I guess like 7s too if you want. That's one card. Second card is Thunder King. This card is really good. I main deck one in my Sabers. A lot of people should, just because he throws off Mirror Match. He also throws off a lot of decks that recruit or search. Like Gravekeepers, they can no longer use Recruiter. Like Chaos Plants, I guess, can't use their Sandgan and whatnot. Dragoonides can't use the Ravine, so this card is just really good. You can also 1-for-1 synchro, so it just has a lot of pluses on it. If only it had a bigger defense, then, you know, it'd be really good. Kind of like this guy, Doomcow Knight. He was MVP in like almost every match I sided in. Just the pressure, just keeping pressure on my opponent. Like, stayed on the field for an average of like 3 to 4 turns. Just, you know, like, hey, do something you want to. You know, Doomcow just in your face all day, just pressure. Just, he's that like annoying kid in the back of your class in 5th grade, just egging on fights. Just do something, you know. And he's an 1800 defense, so you can just set this guy and just watch people fail as they attack. So, definitely that's one card you guys want to try to side deck into. Last card is kind of important, is Effect Veiler. He stops every single one of these guys. Well, not so much him, but these two. You Effect Veiler or Doomcow, they gotta send it. You Effect Veiler or Thunder King, and feel free to search and sync all you want. Usually. But this card was really good. I only really sided in one. I never really had a need to, because I was siding in 2 Doomcows, 2 Cyber Dragons, and 2 Thunder Kings, so I had enough stun as it was. And I didn't want to completely throw off my deck, because, you know, I actually wanted to win with Sabers. But Veiler did a lot of good. I would hit Chaos Sorcerers, I would hit, you know, other fault rolls, I would hit the stupid Samurai, Boggart Knight. This card was just too good. Yeah, this is about it, guys. So, it's really hard, I found this out, to side deck in the stun, like picking the right cards. Some people can do it, others can't. Like, for instance, I met a guy who side decked in Fossil Dinos. I have no clue how he managed to win with that. Like, he sided in 3 with his X-Saber deck, and it was just crazy, like how he just did things. Like, he just complete pro, played around everything. So yeah, if you are gonna side deck in the stun, don't side deck stupid stuff. Like, don't side deck in Banishers when you're running a graveyard heavy deck. You can, like, if you're pro enough to play around it, go for it. If not, then, you know, you just failed miserably. Don't side deck. The other thing too I found out is don't try to side deck for one particular deck. Like, I see most people side decking for a lot of darks, like Consecrated Lights and stuff. I mean, the only real dark decks that are out there is Chaos Plants and I guess Black Wings, but Chaos Plants don't really do much. You know, they don't focus like completely and just with darks. They have lights too to smack your Consecrateds in the face. Black Wings, they're still playable, but I wouldn't play them in my opinion, just because the 2 Kalute down really hurt, and the Icarus really hurt too, because, you know, I mean, you scared the shit out of people with just a Shura and a back card. So yeah, just be careful how you side deck in the stun. If you do it, just play around it as best you can until you can make the final push to win. And other than that, that's really about it. This is God Mode Duelist. Rate, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Shoutouts to pretty much everyone I met over at YCS. Just cool people. Team Minority, Roy Sinclair was there, Jeff Jones, you know, all those guys. Definitely check them out. They all have good shit on their site. And congrats to the guy, can't remember his name, who won YCS with Sam's. He went up against Fish OTK, and it was pretty epic, so, you know, congrats to him. Alright guys, this is God Mode Duelist signing out.